So the run game contained Lindsey for the most part, except for that long run. How did they grade out?
Well, there was a lot to look at, and obviously didn't play well enough in any phase to win the game, and so frustrating. We felt like we would play a lot better. I think we're a better football team than that, and there was a lot of reasons that we didn't play well, and so we looked at all that today, and we have to learn and grow from it. I mean, the difference between playing winning football and losing football, it's really small. And so I think when you go through a game like that and you just see, how the smallest of things can have the biggest impact, that's a lesson, and we got to be better than that. So run game on defense, pass game on defense, so on and so forth. Offense, same thing.
Maybe too early in the week to know, but how'd the guys respond to seeing some of that tape?
These guys have practiced really well all year. Our team practices with a purpose. Unfortunately, last week we practiced much better than we played, which is a little unique. But I think we just have to take the lessons from Saturday, and they came out with great energy today. And it's this point in the season, it's guys are sore and they're hurt and a little tired and get a little beat up, and but to come out with the attitude they had today was awesome, and we appreciate that. And we just gotta take the practice to the game a little bit better than we have.
I mean, what were you able to see in terms of the explosive plays? The 7 explosive plays you allowed a few of them in the pass game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was. There wasn't one common theme, and there never is. It was technique error. It was leverage issue. It was a missed tackle. It was. We didn't win a one-on-one here and there. It was a couple one-on-one wins. They just beat us, and we can win those. We got to play with again, it's the details in the assignment that make the difference, and it takes not only physical but mental, and we just weren't sharp enough there. So there was a number of issues.
You've said every week that effort has not been an issue. Did you see effort being an issue from this past weekend?
No, the guys play hard. What we were missing a little bit was kind of we just weren't as sharp, and there's not one reason for it, and we got to be mentally plugged in. The emotional, physical, mental toughness it takes for every play, and we just weren't consistent enough there. And it's not a matter of want to, it's not a matter of effort per se, but the focus and the detail of the assignment, and again, taking what we're practicing and putting it to use on Saturdays. We got to do a better job of that. And like I said, they had some good plays. I mean, they beat us on a couple, but we felt like we should have played much better than we did.
Ross, had a few overthrows early on, and they kind of cropped up in bunches throughout the game. Did you see anything on there? Was it miscommunication with receivers, or was it timing? Or
yeah, there's going to be all the above when you miss some of those. Ross did some good things, but again, as an offense overall, we weren't sharp enough. It was kind of tail of the halves. The first half defensively, we just gave up way too many explosive plays, and then in the second half, third quarter especially, we got some stops, and we weren't able to get it going on offense to get us back in the game. So it was, there wasn't any one position or any one side of, wasn't one side of the ball necessarily. It was just overall we weren't good enough, and we got to learn from our experiences on Saturday, and that's what it's important for this week.
It's pretty rare to see an offensive line with so much youth, so much inexperience, and so many guys playing out of different positions. Can you talk a little bit about the job Coach Graywood has done this year?
Yeah, Steve Graywood's as good as there is. He teaching that position, the techniques involved, the scheme involved. It's really, really detailed, and he's as good as there is. And we are really fortunate to have him. Obviously, when guys get dinged up, we got to maybe move some guys around and find some rhythm there. And we haven't been perfect, and the guys, but they've gotten better every week. And like I said before, I could talk about all the coaches, but he's as good as there is at his position, and he's an awesome person to go along with it. So, I mean, I could sit here and go for an hour if you want to talk about him that much, because that's how good he is.
What are your early impressions of Oregon State?
Yeah, they've done a really good job 2 weeks in a row. Playing really hard. They're playing emotional, in a good way, and so it'll be a great challenge for us. I mean, offensively, they're spread, whatever that means these days. I mean, a lot of gun runs and a lot of shift in motion. They get the ball on the perimeter a fair amount, and defensively, they're multiple. I mean, like a lot of the teams in our conference, and they're playing confident and hard right now.
Do you notice a difference in them schematically the last 2 weeks, or is it mostly kind of a passion and energy type thing?
Yeah, not necessarily.
Yeah.
I don't. Maybe subtle things.
Yep.
And they're kind of they'll have their game plan things too.
Sure.
They're just playing really, really hard, and you see it, and they're playing well, and just they came up short a couple times, but those games could have gone either way.
You guys have senior day this Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
What has that group in general meant to you as you've come here?
Yeah, I mean they've spent obviously a lot more time here than I have, and we appreciate them, and they've been through a lot. It's not always easy when you're going into your senior year. You don't necessarily sign up thinking you're going to go through some of the things in terms of changes that they've gone through, and I think it's a tribute to those guys. I know what they've done for us this year has been huge, and I know everybody on the team, coaching staff, and the rest of the players want to do right by those guys and make sure we play at our best Saturday for them.
One of those guys that's going to walk through the tunnel run or whatever he can do. Ray Hudson, you've not said he's out for this season, but he's not out there.
Yeah, Ray, that one we can, that'll be discussed at a later time. Yeah, so there's some things going on with that, but I'm really not at the point we can talk about it yet.
We'll get to talk to Jordan here in a little bit. You guys have some experience on offense, but I think he's the only senior who's been starting. What's he meant to that group?
Veazey? Yeah. Jordan, yeah, he's I think just his experience and being a guy that's been through it. He's practiced extremely hard since we've been here. He's done a lot for our offense, and I thought he's gotten better every week. He's had a couple games where he probably had a couple opportunities he'd like to have back, but man, he's just each week he's gotten better, and I think last week you saw him make a couple really nice contested catches, and so I think he's playing his best football, which is huge.
Okay, very good.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thanks,
Appreciate it.